Shalom from Karen Biavna. This week we have Parshas Chukas Balak, Parshas Balak, depending on where we are. I'd like to discuss Mount Og, the mountain that Og wanted to throw on the Jewish people, but perhaps by way of introduction, let me mention that these Parshios, Chukas and Balak, focus largely on the Koach HaDibur. After all, Balak is all about that topic. Ki yadati es asher tevarech mevarach v'asher ta'ar you are. Kadosh Baruch Hu has mercy on the Jewish people. It doesn't facilitate Balak, doesn't facilitate Bilam using his koach hadibur to harm the Jewish people. But also Parshas Chukas is a lot about the koach hadibur. Moshe Rabbeinu is criticized for not speaking to the rock. Furthermore, when the Jewish people want to pass through Edom, then the Jewish people express the fact that we were in Mitzrayim, and we said, when it's Ak El Hashem Vayishma Koleinu, it was through our tefillos that we say that we were able to leave Egypt. Furthermore, the Kanaani Melech Arad comes and attacks the Jewish people, and the Jewish people that take a neder, and the pasuk says, Vayishma Hashem B'Kol Yisrael. Kol Yisrael is not a radio station, but Kol Yisrael is the voice of the Jewish people calling it out in tefillah. Okay, against that background, let's now relate to Mount Og. The Jewish people, they want to pass through the land of Og Melech HaBashan, or the Jewish people pass through land of wage war with Sichon, and then Og comes and wages war with them. And Moshe Rabbeinu is afraid. The Gemara relates that Og wanted to uproot, or actually uprooted, a mountain of 3 parsaos. And he lifted it over his head, and he wanted to throw it on the Jewish people. But the Gemara tells us, in Brachos Nun Daled, Amid Beis, the Gemara relates that some kartzi, I think the Gemara says, some sort of insect came and disintegrated, perhaps ate away at the mountain, and the mountain fell on Og's head. The Gemara continues to relate what happened in the end, but certainly Og's plans were foiled. The Rashba, in his explanation of the Agadatos, tells us what this Gemara really means. The Rashba explains that when the Gemara tells us that Og uprooted a mountain of 3 parsaos, what that means is that Og realized that the Jewish people, they have the zchus of the Shloshes Avos. But Og felt that he could uproot that. After all, Og had zchus Avos on his side in the sense that he had helped Avram Avinu by Avoa Palit, Ve'avola Avram Ivri, and Og felt that based on that he could uproot the zchus Avos. What Og didn't realize is that the Jewish people also have an additional zchus, and that is the zchus of tefillah. The Rashba understands that these insects were ants that ate away at the mountain, which symbolized the Jewish people's koach hatfilah. So through the koach hatfilah, we were able to foil the evil intention of Og Melech HaBashan. And thus, the Jewish people, in addition to our having Zechus Avos, we also have the koach hatfilah, which protects us. This is of particular importance for us because certainly in our generation we are attacked by a nation that feels that they have the zchus of Avram Avinu going for them. They see themselves as being descendants. They are descendants of Avram Avinu through Yishmael, and they feel that they're able to destroy the Jewish people. But we have to keep in mind that through zchus of our tefillah, we're able to uproot and foil their plans. A brief anecdote about the koach tefillah. There was a fellow whose name was Rabbi Avram that didn't have children for a long time. He and his wife traveled to Vienna, which was a lengthy trip at the time. This goes back over 100 years ago, and the doctors were not helpful at all. On the contrary, the doctors told them there's nothing to think about, nothing to discuss, no way. The woman and her husband and Rabbi Avraham, they come back, and the woman is crying. Her father-in-law sees her crying, and he tells her, her father-in-law sees her crying, and he asks her, well, what's this all about? And she tries to avoid him, but in the end she explains that the doctors, they just cause us to give us hope. So the father says, well, the pasuk says, Korov Hashem l'chol korav v'l'chol asher yikre'u ve'emes. What does it mean, yikre'u ve'emes? Yikre'u ve'emes is referring to a situation where a person realizes that it's only on HaKadosh Baruch Hu they could rely. He can't rely not on the doctors, not on anybody else. There's nobody else that could help him. In such a situation, Korov Hashem l'chol korav. And in fact, a year later they had a child. Oh, perhaps I should have mentioned, the name of that Rabbi Avram was Rabbi Avram Elyashiv. The child that was born was Rabbi Elyashiv. That was Rabban Shel Kol Yisrael. The koach of tefillah, the koach of every Jew's tefillah. Tefillah for ourselves, tefillah for our spouses, tefillah for our parents, tefillah for our children, tefillah for Klal Yisrael. Very, very important. That's what will defend us against all our enemies. That's what will bring us the Yeshua. And as with respect to Golas Mitzrayim, that will play an important role in bringing about the final Geula that will come, Bezrat Hashem b'meher b'yameinu, Amen. Thank you.